Hello folks, welcome to this series of AWS Cloud where we are talking about EC2 instances. Now remember when we talked about features of cloud, one of the features we discussed was that AWS provides you pay-as-you-go model. Pay-as-you-go model means that use your resources and at the end of the month pay the bill based on what you have used. The basic idea is to provide flexibility in the payment to the client of the cloud services. So for EC2 also, there are multiple payment options. One of the first and most common option is on-demand instances. Under this plan, you pay by a fixed rate per hour without any long-term commitment. So you can launch an EC2 instance within minutes, use it, and when you are done with it, you can terminate the EC2 instance and you will be charged only for the amount of time that your server is running. So this is best for people who don't have long-term commitment, who have spiky workloads and who don't want to pay upfront. This is ideal for startups where it is tough to estimate the need of your resources and the extent to which you would need these resources. So for short-term, unpredictable and spiky workloads, go for on-demand instances. Now, AWS provides you pay-as-you-go model, but it doesn't mean that you got only this model. So if you know that how much resource you are going to use in the future, if you have that kind of predictability, then you can go on and purchase some reserved instances. In the reserved instances, you would have to pay upfront. It would have commitment of 1 year to 3 years. But on the positive side, if you compare it by per hour basis, it would be a lot cheaper. So whenever you have predictable use case, you should go for reserved instance. It will save you some money. And whenever applications use minimum reserved capacity, go for these kind of instances. Now there is a third and innovative option available as well, which is called spot instances. So AWS sometimes put the EC2 instances on bid. So the clients can bid for instances. They can see what is the current price going on for the spot instances and bid with a price higher than that or specify their price. If they are the highest bidder, then they will get the EC2 instance. Normally under spot instances, you get very good price. Very high-end instances can be get in a very low price. Of course, that will depend on at what time you are getting it and what is available there. Now the problem with this type of instances is as soon as any other client bids higher price than yours, then you will lose the instance and instance would be assigned to the other guy. So there is no predictability or no stability of your instance, and that is why this kind of EC2 instances need application which has flexible start and end time. And you need to make sure that if when the instance is snatched away from you, you have stored the work done by your application using some other service or any other resource. So normally this kind of spot instances are used by companies or applications which needs very high compute power or very high-end machines for doing complex tasks which otherwise would be very costly. So if you have that kind of use case, for example, DNA mapping, weather forecasting, research and development, then you can go for these kind of EC2 instances. You can save a lot of money again by using this because it's very low cost. Having said that, you need to make specific applications with flexible start and end time to effectively use these instances. Now when you launch EC2 instances, they are normally launched on the shared hardware. So another client may launch another EC2 instance and both yours and other clients' EC2 instance may be running on the same hardware which is shared. Now if you don't want that, you can go for dedicated instance types. So in dedicated instances, your instance would be running on dedicated hardware where only your account's instances would be running. So instances from other AWS account won't be sharing your hardware. So this is used for adhering to some compliances, or maybe your client requirement is so that they don't want to share the servers with any other third party or any other client. In that case, you need to go for dedicated instances. So these hardwares for dedicated instances would be dedicated to only one customer or one AWS account. Now there is a similar but a bit different concept of dedicated hosts. Dedicated host means these are the physical hardware, physical servers dedicated to your account, and when you launch instances, you can dictate that where exactly your instance should go. So dedicated host or dedicated hardware is provided to you and you can launch further instances on those hardware itself. So these kind of instances are used for server bound licenses and adhering to some regulatory requirements. So as you can imagine, they would be a bit costlier than your on-demand instances, but if you're going for reserved instances, you can again get a lot of discount. So while launching the EC2 instance, you will be asked that what kind of payment option, what kind of instances you are going to launch. So we'll see all of these while launching the EC2 instance. Having said that, these are just payment options based on what kind of instance you are creating. However, the charges will also differ based on what would is the size of your instance, which we normally refer as instance types. How much storage space you are going to occupy. What is the AMI you are using. So your total charge for your EC2 or for that matter any other service depends on multiple factors. We'll talk about them as we go and see those options. So in the next video, we are going to talk about EC2 instance type. See you in the next video.